Welcome back to We Are Live.
How you going?
Chris Denman, live in St. Louis, Missouri. Grand Center is where our studio resides, midcoast.media. For more information, I got to tell you guys, this upcoming Thursday, May 23rd, we are so proud to bring back the marvelous Mia Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
You know her from her fantastic headlining performance as we did the Lou Fest Redo comedy show. Mia Jackson this Thursday, Marvelous Mrs. Mia, celebration of women comedy starring Mia Jackson, featuring St. Louis and, international favorite Libby Higgins and Sarah Perry. She's a very talented comedian in Chicago who is originally from the Chesterfield area. Get your tickets online at Metro Tix. Sold a bunch of tickets over the weekend, so this baby will sell out. There's limited seats to the Kranberg Art Center studio. That's a 501 North Grand, just north a few blocks of SLU, right by the Fox Theater. Come hang out with us. Tommy, I'll take your ticket.
It's an amazing
Thursday.
venue.
It is. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun. So
I'll be
we're
wearing
excited
a
about
suit.
that. Yeah, it's going to be nice. Feel free to dress up. It's got a few nods to Marvelous Miss Maisel in the evening, so we're pumped to have those three comics this year. Travis Terrell joining us from Brooklyn, New York, inside the coveted P.F. Chang's studio, which we're very excited about. Gardner is here as well. Last hour, we had a bunch of fun. If you missed it, go back, download it on iTunes. And thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Not
Travis,
weird.
we had some big sports news locally, but I'm going to be selfish. One of my favorite football players and now humans ever, Chris Long, retires after, what did he say, 11 years in the league, couple Super Bowls at the end of his career, weathered some of the worst football and worst, I guess, conditions in the dome that you could as a professional football player. He announced it on Twitter. If I may, Travis, may I read Mr. Long's Twitter announcement?
Go for it.
He sounds upset. Cheers. Been a hell of a journey. 11 years, and I can honestly say I put my soul into every minute of it. Highs and lows. I've seen them both, and I appreciate the perspective. Gratitude and love to those who lifted me up. You have a red Solo cup cheersing what I assume to be the Montana skyline from Chris's off-season residence. Travis, you're a big Chris Long fan. We've had him on the show. Ton of charity work, ton of very just interesting things that he's done. But just focusing on the football, would you say he ended up having like a storybook career? I look at that and I say, despite the hardships, he earned a ton of respect. He didn't technically necessarily live up to the stats that his draft status would have brought to the table, but I think that's about as good of a career as you could possibly have, especially capping off with 2 titles at the end.
I think he's a guy that was always a consummate professional, always looked after his teammates, always had respect for the city that he was in. He was hardly ever controversial. The things that even he says now recently is very, diplomatic, very civil. He was never the kind of guy that was me first. He was, he lived up to the long name, and he wasn't the most spectacular defensive end, certainly considering where he was drafted, but he was effective. He spent a vast majority of his career at one of the worst organizations in all of professional sports. So that also had a lot to do with him not being able to be as successful on the field as I'm sure he wanted to be. But as you mentioned, he walks away with 2 Super Bowl rings. And I think he's just one of those guys that's ultimately going to have a better career outside of football than he did on the field, because not only of the humanitarian work that he does, he's just one of those personalities that gets it. He understands how social media works. He can take care of himself, and he's a very smart guy, married to a St. Louis woman. He has always showed love and respect to the city. And I think there was a moment where he was in talks of being one of the minority owners of one of the principals to bring MLS to St. Louis. So he's always cared about this community. And I think it says a lot about St. Louisans, prominent ones that reached out to congratulate his career, and you didn't hear much. I don't know if you've even officially heard anything from the Rams organization about what he's contributed. I know as of late afternoon yesterday, I hadn't seen them tweet out a message or send out a statement congratulating Chris Long and his career, which is typical Rams, but the guy gave a lot here to St. Louis, and I certainly appreciate who he is as a humanitarian.
Travis, I did take note of that too from the Rams, and I just checked their account. 21 hours ago, they had put something up now.
They have something up now.
Yeah, just a few pictures and a great player plus an even better person. Thank you, Chris Long, for all you did in the horns on plus off the field. Cheers to an incredible career. And that.
Do we feel like they were
the
goaded?
message.
Do we feel like they were pressured into that a little bit? Like after a bunch of people like, hey, jackasses, this guy gave a lot to you and was a big part of your history. Or do you think they're just a little slow to the uptake? Not everybody tweets right away.
I mean, it's football,
No,
right?
they were, yeah.
So they're off season. So maybe they were just like, oh, we should probably. So they're on vacation. So like when you're on vacation, you gotta get to stuff a little.
They
Is
set
that
down
how
the
it
Mai
works?
Tai.
That's how
Yeah.
it works, Tommy.
Tommy's picturing their social media team out partying in Cabo San Lucas. They're like, oh, hey, Long retired. I'll get to it tomorrow.
And also-
I wish I was you, Tommy.
And also,
Oh.
it's like 280 characters. You did what you could.
In
Maybe they wanted
I
to
think
write
it
something
is.
nice.
I think Kroenke has made it very clear to everyone within the Rams organization that they don't want any ties to St. Louis whatsoever. So that I think was a conscious effort to not to be the first ones out to acknowledge that we were the team that cut him once we arrived in LA.
I mean, and they made no mention of St. Louis in their
Exactly.
post, and even on the pictures
Yeah.
they have, they make sure to have the hashtag LA Rams in it.
Maybe Kroenke tried killing it. Maybe he's the problem.
Oh,
I mean, it
well,
could certainly-
Tommy, yeah, he's a problem.
Yeah,
Yes.
There's a little- he is a big old turd and a very small punch bowl. I'll say that. He's. I would also say too that was surprising because I was just thinking like when they moved out there, I was like, man, this sucks because now the world gets to see how great Chris Long is, and he's going to be remembered as this amazing Los Angeles personality with his father, who's a Hall of Famer himself, who played for the Raiders. No, they cut him.
Yeah.
Which actually played to his favor, obviously, and played to his career. How about this, guys? $92,360,000 around that for career earnings in 11 seasons.
Yeah, and he didn't keep all of that. So
No, gave a lot away to what was it? His full
And
last couple of years, he just donated to education funds or schools in his hometown, right?
Well, there are a couple of instances. Yeah, he did in St. Louis, of course, and after Charlottesville, of course, he went to the University of Virginia, and so he certainly had spent time there, grew up in that area, so he wanted to let the world know that there's more to Charlottesville than, angry white men in khakis and tiki torches. And to his credit, he did donate, I believe, his entire salary one year to college funds for kids coming out of the Charlottesville area. He's also one of those few rare white athlete allies that supported teammates who were out front kneeling, who wanted to express their disdain for the current judicial system here in America. He was one of those who put himself out there, supported teammates like Malcolm Jenkins. And I think that's why he's so endeared, especially in the age of social media, because people see how genuine he is. And he isn't afraid to put himself out there. And he knows he's going to take shots. He knows Fox News is going to come after him. He knows that the social media mob is waiting on the outside to attack him. He doesn't care. He follows his convictions. And I think that's why you saw so much outpouring love for him over the weekend when he decided to retire.
Yeah, and that's all fine and dandy, Travis, but he is outspoken, most importantly, though, about artificial intelligence and robots, and he's very aware of what robot technology could mean to the future of the human race, and so I pointed out on Twitter, I hope that he leads the resistance against.
Who better person to follow?
That's a guy I would follow. I would
He's
follow
like a real
him.
life John Connor.
Yes.
His dad is one of the best. I don't know, pregame. What do you want to call him? An analyst or
Yeah,
whatever he is.
analyst.
But he has some
Studio
personality.
analyst, yeah.
His dad was a collegiate boxer, and talking about hot older guys. Tommy, look up Howie Long with the flat top and everything. But he did movies and stuff too. He was in movies. Do you think we'll see Chris Long take a route, or does he do the ultimate Chris Long thing and just kind of ride off into the sunset and enjoy himself? I think
Here's
we're
what I
better
would do.
for it
I
if
mean,
he does.
I think if I'm ESPN, he's one of those personalities where I would consider maybe giving a late night talk show to, like get him in a panel of his friends, celebrity friends, and they talk about what you just talked about, Gardner, AI. They talk about things that,
Him and Scott Van
guys
Pelt.
sit around would be cool. That would
Yeah.
be good. But I think
Yeah.
he would be good to have his own brand. And if I'm Fox Sports, if I'm ESPN, I wouldn't just make him an analyst. I think we know he can talk football. I think what's interesting about Chris Long is that when he talks about things outside of football,
Yeah.
and I would try to create a platform, whether it's the Deadspin or Barstool or whatever it may be, where he gets that opportunity to just talk that. Now, he's a family man. He loves his vacation. He loves traveling for his Water Boys projects. So I don't know if he wants to kind of commit that type of time to doing that. But I think if he wanted to do anything, whether it's in Hollywood or media, the sky's the limit for a personality like Chris Long.
Podcast. Just do it himself. Do it from
I
Virginia.
wouldn't even. I think the guy like podcasts. Like I think he's bigger than that. I think he's the kind of guy that honestly, if I'm Hulu, Netflix, the new Disney Plus, whatever the streaming service, he's the kind of guy where I would tune in and watch a talk show because I know he's going to talk about things in a way that is relatable to me and people my age. And people my age, we spend a ton of money on media. So I would go beyond podcasts. I would absolutely find a forum where he can bring his friends on the show and they can talk about anything.
And I see him I do see him having some, I don't know, cameos or something like that, like Howie Long did. I mean, we're seeing him right now. He's been doing recaps of every Game of Thrones episode, so he's into the entertainment part of things. So I can definitely see him, transitioning somewhat. I don't know in what capacity, but he's definitely has, it seems, at least a little bit of passion to discuss those things and maybe involve himself in the entertainment part of it's just things outside sports entertainment.
Anything to keep him.
He's one of those few rare athletes, though, that you actually want to follow their career now that they're done.
I agree. Most certainly.
Anything to keep him growing. It is because again, people like him, whenever they have this long train of projects, that means every little bit's going to go to something that you deem as a good thing. Locally, care to learn.
When you
amazing
when
charity.
When
he
you're
works
investing in him, you're investing in things that are good, because it's not just in him; it's what he's going to do as well with what you're investing in him. So you feel good about investing in him then. So I mean, it's kind of a circular thing that I don't see a negative to it.
And look, we're not inside their household all the time, but you have to give credit to Howie Long and his amazing wife. Like they've raised like incredible boys that not only were amazing athletes, but just amazing human beings. And I would imagine that's not easy to do when you are Howie Long, the face of the Oakland Raiders. You're playing football, the commitment that requires. And for him to still not only be the family man that he was, but raise boys that became what they are, that's a credit to him and his wife. What a job well done. These guys are not only just amazing athletes, but they care about their communities. They care about the cities that they play for. And again, if you talk to any of their teammates, everyone says those guys are the first ones on the front line to protect that locker room, to protect the face of the organization. They've always been team players, and that says a lot about who they are as people.
Absolutely. Love that, and I wish more people would follow in his footsteps, or at least get it the way Chris Long does. Another local story yesterday, I think this means a lot for the local entertainment and bar budget economy. Your St. Louis Blues, Travis, won yesterday 5-0, making it one game until they can make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. They went up on the Sharks. They can bring it back. They can end it here in 6 games, and they'd go on to face Boston, Bill Burr's favorite team. This could be a lot of fun, man. This could be interesting, and I think you should fly home to lead the charge.
That's impressive that you were still able to make that about all things comedy. How you were able to take it.
He had a pretty timely tweet yesterday. Yesterday during the Blues game, I was impressed too because I don't watch a ton of. I sat there and watched the whole game. There was a penalty shot, which is one of the most exciting Disney moments in a freaking sports game, and Vladimir Tarasenko nailed a penalty shot, and it was just an absolute just scorcher. And Bill Burr tweeted out Tarasenko in like, oh boy, face. So that was a pretty big tweet yesterday, which is why I brought that up.
I saw that.
So I brought Twitter into it as well.
Tommy, you watched the hockey game.
I watched part of it.
Where were you?
Oh,
I was
boy.
at my house.
Really?
I stayed at home.
His dad sat him down and said, I'm going to make a man out of you yet.
No, he was asleep. We had been driving all night. So it was just on the TV, and the remote was too far away. So I watched the hockey
So your
game.
laziness allowed
me-
you to watch the hockey game.
And then was there another one where like Tarasenko hit it to like the G dude, the guy with the G last name, and the guy with the G last name knocked it into the goal?
The G.
Jesus Christ.
Are you trying to say Jaden
Jesus
Schwartz?
Christ.
Maybe who hit all the goals yesterday?
Who hit all the goals?
There was 5 of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaden Schwartz had
It was
3.
probably him because Tarasenko knocked it to him, and then the other guy
Who?
was like, boom,
And then he hit the goal.
Tarasenko,
Tarasenko.
and then Tarasenko.
Tarantino. It's Tarantino.
I was gonna
He's
say,
Quentin
Travis,
Tarantino, son.
We make it
Tarasenko.
a paragraph of the week, and you guys can split it.
His name is
Tarantino.
Vladimir Tarantino.
Boom.
His father is
Hit it.
Quentin.
He hit it to Jay Schwartz, and Jay Schwartz was like, all right, and he knocked it into the goal. And I was like, I'm going to talk about this on the show Monday. It was great.
Jesus.
This is great.
And then
Jesus.
Friday night, I watched the game at the Halo Bar for a little bit. That was cool. I saw the goal that they made there. Boom.
Yeah.
It's been a hockey-type weekend.
Yeah, that's good analysis.
Oh,
Tommy.
What do you guys
this
think
is not
of
a bad breakdown.
Travis, you're probably going to have a negative spin to this. There were 10,000 people watching the game at the Enterprise Center yesterday, just watching on TV. Oh, I'm sorry. Travis is upset. Go ahead.
No, I'm not upset. Good for them. I'm glad everyone got out to the Enterprise Center. It was a huge win for the Blues. They are one win away from making the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in their franchise history. This is the closest they've been since the early 80s, Gardner?
Well, they've been to the Stanley Cup
Yeah.
final before.
So when was the last time it was Stanley Cups? 1960?
Like 70 or something like that. They went first
gonna
3 years of
knock it
their
out.
existence, but never won a game in the Stanley Cup final.
So they're like the Kansas City Chiefs of hockey.
Yeah,
they
people
went
used
when
to
no
say-
one was alive and
Yeah.
Chiefs have won a
haven't
Super
been
Bowl.
back since.
Are they more the Cubs?
Well,
'Cause Cubs
people
would
used
make
to,
it very
here-
far.
here's the
Yeah.
one I used
Yeah.
to like. People used to
Okay.
say the Cubs, but the Cubs had won
They had-
before,
they
but
had
it was a
won
long
it,
time.
yeah.
I always thought that the Astros analogy was more apt until recently,
That makes
where the
sense.
Astros kind of came in, and, it was expansion and just had gotten close, had even been to a World Series, but it just didn't work out for them. They were the Astros. I thought that analogy fit more until, of course, they get a World Series title there several years ago. So
The
I don't
Blues
know
are
who
on
they
the
are
verge
now.
of
Maybe they'll be like
they're on the verge
Astros.
of finally. They're on the verge of finally ending an important drought. I think they are one of the last few North American sports teams that have not won a Stanley or won a championship in their league. And so this would be a great opportunity for the Blues. This year has been really fun to watch. Tuesday night's going to be crazy at Enterprise. I would imagine that roof, like it's going to go back to the days of the Checker Dome, I would imagine, on Tuesday night.
they're
Like
gonna-
that place is just going to be bonkers. And they're going to do whatever they can to finally put the Blues over the top to get to the Stanley Cup. It would be really cool to witness that. I hope they are able to close it out because I would hate for them to have to go all the way back to San Jose, especially. I don't think Blues fans can handle that. So if they can put this series away on Tuesday night, that'd be great because I think the fans and that organization, guys like Bobby Plager, who is just an icon in this city, to have that opportunity to to finally celebrate with this organization. There are so many people that have been a part of this organization for a long time that haven't had this opportunity. So to be able to close it out at Enterprise on Tuesday would be really cool.
Big fans of the St. Louis Blues and big fans of delivering healthy food to your pets, Tommy. Pet One St. Louis West. Don't you ever forget it. They're huge fans of the Blues, big fans of yours as well. When you use them, fresh, local, delivered. That's Pet One St. Louis West. You can deal directly with the owners, Lynette and Nick. They care about your animals, theirs, and everyone in the St. Louis area. They want to let you know they're supporting the Blues and they're supporting you by delivering healthy, fresh pet food to whatever location works for you. Check out PetOnceSt.LouisWest.com for more information, ingredients, events, everything. That's right, Pet Once St. Louis West. No, I'm excited about the whole thing, and I hope it's selfishly, I want it to wrap tomorrow night so nobody has excuses about Thursday's big comedy show.
I don't want to sound like a dummy, but I mean this question genuinely. All right, is the Stanley Cup like the World Series? Is that an app? Okay.
It is an object. Yeah. It is the trophy that
It's
you
the
win.
same thing.
It's like
So
the
it is the
Lombardi
same thing.
Trophy or the World
Okay.
Series.
It's not the same thing. It's similar. Yeah.
I can't wait to see the Blues win the World Series then.
There it
Yes,
is.
We're going to
Thank
do
you.
it. And Travis, if they go to Boston, you can just go see them there because it's only like 20 miles from New York, right?
I think that's how it works.
Yeah, I will hop on one of those buses
Yeah.
and make my way over to the hockey venue where the Boston Bruins play to watch some Stanley Cup hockey.
Yeah,
No,
you
I'm
do
very
that.
excited. Even here in St. Louis, I am very excited to be able to cheer on the Blues from all the way here in Brooklyn. I really hope Tuesday happens. I really want it to happen in St. Louis. I think they deserve to happen for it to happen again. And like we talk about some of the great alums. We talk about guys like Terry Yake, who has been just a sweetheart to people like us who are stupid when it comes to hockey. We know people like Cam Jansen, who who of course still covers the Blues and is rooted in the hockey community here in St. Louis. I just want that for them because these folks are so genuine and committed to this organization and committed to this fan base. And look, this fan base has been through a lot, man. We've had some horror show, freak show moments when it comes to Blues hockey, especially in the playoffs. And so if they can just finally just get there, I would love to win the whole thing. Don't get me wrong. But I think getting there would be a huge monkey off this organization's back. And considering, again, where the season was 5-6 months ago, for them to be in a position to be one game away from the Stanley Cup final, that is insane. And then think about the storylines in the Stanley Cup final. You got your former captain, Backus, you're going up against, waiting for you in Boston. And so I'm sure the guys would love an opportunity to play against their old captain. So there are so many cool storylines should the Blues win on Tuesday night.
I completely agree, and you've got the Boston-St. Louis thing, which has not been very fun for St. Louis on the baseball side of things.
No,
but
not at all.
anytime
Or the
you
football side.
Yeah, or the football side. Great point.
We
Anytime
don't
you can
have football anymore.
Thank you for that
Yeah.
salt in the
Good
wound.
point, Tommy.
It just hurts. No, I think it's
XFL.
I think it's interesting, and obviously we're St. Louis people. So, Travis, as a New Yorker, do you hate all things Boston? Will you just lightly align your allegiances to St. Louis to root for the scrappy team rather than your mortal enemy in a Boston sports team?
Well, I think that the excitement for me actually doesn't have to do with my current New York ties, but knowing that Boston and St. Louis fight it out year after year as who's the most racist city. So it's going to be fun to see who comes out on top. As an African American, I'm trying to see where are they going to host the next Republican National Convention? Where will alt-right post up and have their weekend? I'm curious,
Alabama.
will they choose St. Louis or will they have Boston? It's going to be fun to watch.
What if sometime down the road, like the Republican convention comes to St. Louis, Travis? I mean, that's a good thing for the city, though, right?
The bars, I would imagine, they would
Yeah.
certainly benefit from that. Chris, can you tell us more about it?
Economic growth.
Gardner gets it. I don't need to tell you, Jack. I do know that Chris Davis tweeted he was enjoying some time at Southtown Pub
Oh, yeah?
over the weekend. We do comedy
Was
there
he now?
every week. Yeah. So people are catching on, pal.
Spending his first Saturday over there. I saw the tweet.
Poor guy can't even tweet out he's enjoying a place without a bunch of dorks being like, "Well, we do stuff there." When I say dorks, I mean me.
All of us, really.
He's the
Yeah.
biggest dork in this room. Am I right, guys?
Look out.
Am I right, guys?
Get him, Tommy. Get his ass, Tommy. Yeah.
Oh, you a dork.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
Damn.
I was.
Damn. You getting dunked on,
Tommy,
son.
where'd you go this weekend?
Yeah. You went to Nashville? You sure you didn't go to Memphis?
Yeah, I'm for sure.
Oh, boy.
Look at that picture. That is awesome.
Again, Rob Lowe.
Tommy, I'm
looks-
so proud of you.
Tommy.
I look awful in that
Are you
picture.
hiding your boner?
Basically, yeah.
I had to tuck it to the left.
Why does Rob Lowe look younger than you?
Yeah, that's a strange thing.
Guys, you could see his
He
abs
is in great
the,
shape.
You could see his
Yeah, you
abs
can.
through
He-
that shirt. That was like
Yeah,
a
he's in
regular
great
fitting
shape.
shirt.
Uh,
Oh boy,
could
it was
you-
great.
Chris Dim, do you think he would have got his arms around you?
What's that?
Oh no, he could have. Yeah, They
Rob?
were.
You think? Okay.
Oh, he
Yeah.
could have had the strength to, but no,
They got him-
I'm still a bit rotund for his frame.
He got him around my dad, and my dad, although he is more muscular, is bigger than Chris. So he could have definitely got him. around.
Damn, Chris.
Did that need to be noted?
He's
Oh, man.
damn. Damn.
Quick reminder, fair or foul, social media accounts for pets. You can win $10 to Southtown Pub. Email us, wall@weareliveradio.com to jump onto that. Before we get into the Great American Race, quick note that we needed to talk about. Guys, we missed a huge event in St. Louis. Gardner, thank you for letting us know this.
Oh, yeah.
Rascal Flatts performed in St. Louis. Travis, I'm upset with you.
Excuse me?
How did
I
we
missed
anything.
Rascal Flats in the Loo.
Yes.
Yeah, what a poor
We all
choice.
Where
did.
did they
I don't
perform?
think we missed anything.
Where were they performing?
They were
Riverport.
Out at Riverport, as we call it still.
Yeah, and especially when Rascal
I
Flatts
thought Sammy
play that.
Hager had dibs on Riverport for the summer.
Yeah, he might.
He's got a residency.
Maybe he's subleasing.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'll give you a Sunday midday show. I'll lease some time. Yeah.
So is
So
this
Rascal Flats was out in the Riverport. I would imagine that bad boy was sold the freak out.
Yeah, and I guess they hit. I forgot it was on Friday, and I'm on social media on Saturday, and we were having bad weather, and I see, the Twitter account for that facility tweeting out, "Yeah, we're going to cancel the show," and I'm like, "Oh crap, was that Rascal Flats?" Not knowing that it was the previous night, so I was a little worried that there were going to be some angry Rascal Flats fans, but apparently, they got it in. Nothing terrible happened, it seemed. Nothing in the news, like from the Dave Matthews Band concert. So,
What happened there?
oh, they found a dead body under suspicious causes, it seems.
Yeah, it's
Are you
Dave
serious?
Matthews
Yeah.
Band.
Yeah.
Like
How
a-
did you see? Did you know about this?
yeah, it's
I
makes
haven't,
sense.
I haven't followed up over the weekend to see if they made any inroads.
It was
on
from
what
someone
going
that was attending the concert.
It's probably a
Oh
sacrifice.
my God,
Yeah.
that's horrible. I didn't hear anything about
Happy
this.
Cocktoberfest, everybody.
Yeah, geez. After
Do
the
you guys like Rascal Flats? That's what I want to ask.
Tommy.
Yes.
Damn, I should change my Great American Race story now. I didn't
right, I
know
gotta
anybody
leave.
died
I'm
at a
sorry.
Dave Matthews store. Had I
Somebody
known,
died.
damn it, had I known someone died at a Dave Matthews concert, I would have absolutely made that my story. Shoot, I screwed up.
That's horrible.
And Tommy, you asked, you guys like Rascal Flats.
so dumb.
I mean,
Life is a highway. I wanna ride it all
I can't tell if that's Chris or Travis.
that is Travis.
All right, I genuinely
Thank
thought
you.
it was this guy right
You
here.
better get on board with Rascal Flats, or we're going to have a problem.
Black
I
sheep.
will leave. It's fine.
Oh, see, that's the problem with whether it's St. Louis or what. There's a connection that one of the listeners just texted us. Black Sheep says his wife actually knew the person who passed away. It was someone's father that was.
Someone's
What did they have? What were the circumstances?
I
just know they listed it as suspicious.
Well, you read it on the damn show, pal, so find out the damn circumstances.
I'm reading. I'm trying to Google it for you. I'm the intern. I look up stuff, but I'm trying to tell you why I
way to
don't
own
like
it. Way to own it.
Randy Trash. And so, hold
Man,
on.
I do not like Dave Matthews Band at all, and now they've made me feel bad for this whole thing. I can't even. Oof. That's awful. That's absolutely terrible.
Yeah, and
So, all right. Sorry. Police here are seeking information on the death of a man who was found unconscious Wednesday at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater minutes after a Dave Matthews Band concert ended. The man, 44, died Thursday, apparently of a head injury.
Oh no.
Police are investigating.
somebody
the incident
attack
as a
him? Oh,
suspicious
my.
death. So I wonder if he got like hit with something.
It would sound.
It sounds like either somebody hit him with something, or he got hit, or he
Uh,
fell and hit his head against something.
And
Theater medical personnel were notified shortly after 11 p.m. Wednesday that a man was unconscious on the concrete pathway between the lawn and the house seating area. Police said.
Oh wow!
He was treated at the scene and taken to a hospital where he died. Police did not release more details.
Now there is
This is
a
from
bit
St.
of
Louis
a
Dispatch.
it is a bit of a ledge when you are between the lawn and the seating area, the general seating area. So I wonder, could he maybe have fallen, and it was a bit of a drop, and he hit his head. That's unfortunate. That's very sad.
Well, Dave
Yeah.
Matthews.
And this was at the Dave Matthews concert. Did they release a statement?
I can look that up really quick. But like, there's drinking at concerts. You know, they got the step. Crowds
Right.
get busy after the show. I wonder if it was just like
Right.
one of those things where he had a little too much and fell. I don't know.
Very possible.
I don't really make a habit of going out there, but I mean, would it surprise you if there was a small scuffle? I mean, too.
No.
I mean, there's, I mean,
Not at
that's
I think that's where I saw
pretty
Rod
normal.
Stewart.
Rod
But I would
Stewart and
imagine,
Rob Lowe
though-
on your list, huh?
Oh wow, Rod Stewart's better than Rob Lowe.
He was-
so I
he-
give you.
There was a part where he was kicking soccer balls into the audience. but
That's his thing.
They would, yeah, but they would hit the speakers and they just come right back at him.
No.
He'd knock them and they'd come back and they'd hit people in his band. It was great.
Press one and smash him in the face.
It was really funny.
Kicking. Ooh la
I-
la bah!
He's got a good kick.
I'm about to say, and also Gardner, I feel like you have a good Rod Stewart.
I like the faces, Rod Stewart. I like that.
Maybe I couldn't have tried anymore.
There you go.
Yeah,
Nice.
That was good.
I got this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a
Personally,
Goblin King.
I like
I
Mike.
wish that I knew what I know now.
There we go.
When I
Gardner.
was younger.
Can't get this in Brooklyn, can you, Trav?
He gets it on the subway.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think Ooh La La
I'll
is
get
the
the,
best.
I'll get the Spanish version.
Just a quick comment from Jared in the comments says Travis can't look that much like Darius Rucker and not be a Rascal Flatts fan.
I know 2 Rascal Flatts songs, and they're as commercial as they come. They're not even their songs, I think. You got of course, Life is a Highway.
It doesn't.
That's not even their song. And then what's the My Wish song they used to sing on ESPN?
Oh, that's when ESPN just lost it for me. I was like, listen, I'm trying to, I'm really just trying to
I
catch
agree.
a smart aleck recap with Stuart Scott yelling at a dunk. I don't need to, as moving as cancer-stricken children are, and raising money is a great thing.
How did that song go, Chris?
My wish, like that,
There
and
it
then
is.
and then
Yeah.
a tear rolls down your eye.
Tom Rinaldi
and-
walks in.
Yeah,
and-
exactly. You're mid coffee, and you're like, I'm trying to see if the Cardinals hit some dingers last night. I'm not trying to get real emotional.
If Tom Rinaldi ever came walking my direction, like looking like he was going to come talk to me, I'd turn and run the other way. He's like the
Because you're
Grim
about to
Reaper.
die.
He's the Grim Reaper.
Yes, he is.
It's
He
bad.
is.
It
is.
doesn't look like
Either
Dave
you
Matthews
did something with
handling
a former employee. If Tom Rinaldi is walking away, he did something with a former employee that was
Yeah.
inappropriate, or you're about to die.
Yeah, you got to go. Just go away from him. Don't talk to him.
They call it the Elliot Davis effect here in St. Louis. They're like, oh, am I
Davis.
current on my taxes? Like, why is he here?
I understand none of these references.
That's beautiful.
He's
that's
a
'cause you're-
journalist in St. Louis with a segment
Oh,
called
don't
Deep.
explain it to the
No, I
idiot. Leave him
mean,
be.
going way back, I don't understand any of these references.
I don't understand
Up until
why
that
we do the
commercial
show.
where they cried.
There is that.
Oh boy. Happy to be here.
We've got the Great American Race where we bring up a couple stories, defend different or attack different elements of race-driven stories throughout the United States. Travis, give us an intro. How's it go?
The Great American Race. Hey, look at the score.
There you go. So, Travis, you're leading right now in the Great American Race. You each get a story, as Chris said. Trying to make the others' race look a little bad. We tally it up throughout the month using a credit score, as you can see here on the screen. 770 to 660. Travis leads Chris currently. Travis had a big week last week, as LaQuisha helped him out. Chris tried to fight
LaQuisha.
back, but could not. So he gave it a go, though. but it's put him in a hole this month. We tally up the scores throughout the month, and whoever has the higher credit score at the end of the month is declared the winner for that particular month in the Great American Race. What you guys got? Who wants to go first?
I'll step up. Travis, you're a huge fan of, I guess, jumping on board whenever Drake helps your cause, correct?
I don't want to say yes.
Exactly. Once again, Travis, he picks his spots. We've seen that throughout the show today. We've seen it throughout the last 4 years of this. From Complex, are you familiar with Complex, Travis? He's
It
Googling.
is a very urban magazine.
It is. Fans think a Taylor Swift and Drake collab is coming. Your boy, he jumps on every bandwagon known to man. Not only has he ruined Conor McGregor's career, not only did he ruin the Night King's career, now he's coming for Taylor Swift, and he's trying to appropriate white culture by leaning into Taylor Swift, stealing the show, taking any kind of credibility out of Jay-Z's hard work to get him up from unsigned rapper to star now. Drake absolutely devastating the hip-hop world. Kanye tried to take her down. It didn't work out. This is going to be very bad for everyone. You'll never see a Drake feature, album, anything worth a damn ever again. So undoubtedly, he's taking his great black art and ripping it from your hands because he's working with Taylor Swift, and this is very upsetting, and you should be upset. And this is probably like a 200-point deduction. This is madness.
Sounded
This
racist.
is,
from
I
you.
don't know what I don't know what happened to Chris. Something happened to Chris
I don't
over the
care
last
anymore.
couple of weeks where I think that's probably what it is. And what a pathetic display, especially since we all know that Drake is from Toronto, Canada. So for him, he's not even part of the African American community because he's not even American.
Now, I'll
And
note
so
this.
for you to continue to push Drake, a guy that has the same skin complexion as you, and try to make him the face of black culture is not only sad but inaccurate. And I don't know why you keep trying to push this agenda. Also, Taylor Swift, the blacks, we don't hate Taylor Swift. We just don't care about her. And so it's not like we will go out of our way to hate Taylor Swift. It's that she's annoying and unoriginal. Again,
So
if you want to
hate
get
her.
your money, go get it. But for you to now put Drake in our corner, in our category, that's so sad.
Drake is,
Yeah, look.
Drake is in your category. He is in your corner.
No, he's not. Have you seen his baby mama? His baby mama is whiter than you, Gardner.
Oh, yes. I've never seen a black
Yeah.
man with a white woman before.
And
That's not a
Travis,
thing.
I just over the last decade, I've just seen you go in for Drake, stand up for Drake, do all these things, and it's disappointing for me to watch you crumble under these circumstances. It's upsetting.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I don't.
Me too.
I don't know why you would think that, but that's. I feel bad for you.
Chris, what exactly is your argument?
My argument is
I was gonna
Travis
ask the
has
same
stood on the
thing. I was
Drake.
been waiting.
Travis
I
has
know.
stood on the Drake pillar for the last 4 years of this show and tore down Taylor Swift in the meantime. So in a publicity-driven competition that we take so seriously, whenever two worlds of Travis's collide, I need him to stand up and stick to his guns. And just like I thought, he slithered out and took the easy way. Drake hurting black artists by rumored to be working with Taylor Swift. It's embarrassing for the culture.
Hey,
That's all.
Travis, do you think that song's going to be good if it comes out?
Probably.
Damn it.
It'll
I was trying
probably
to help
be
you out,
good.
man.
All right,
No,
I'll
but
knock
but here's the
10
thing:
more
is
points
Drake.
off for
He
that.
says Drake rides a wave. That's you're talking about the wrong artist in that story. Taylor Swift rides the wave. If Beyonce does it, T Swift does it. If Drake does it, T Swift's on it. So you have the wrong person. The person that you should be chastising is the person that's from your community, and that's Taylor Swift. She's so unoriginal. She is what you folks consider now new country. And so she's teaming up with Drake.
No.
Isn't it
Hip hop
He's
artist
right.
now. You've accepted her
No.
into the hip hop
No,
community.
he's right because she jumped on the Panic at the Disco train because recently Panic at the Disco put out that new album, had 3 number 1 hits, and then she made a song with him.
But she's not new country. She's
No,
not
that is wrong. You
Yeah.
are wrong about that.
She
So,
she
I
she
see
started her career
what
in
you're trying to
Nashville.
say. Yeah, but she transitioned out of that. She's
To hip hop.
Yeah.
Transitioned right around Red.
So I see
So
what you're trying
she
to
was
say.
the one but she was the one appropriating other genres. Then she was
Well,
someone
well,
that
that's
why would
fine.
Drake
from
work
the
with
ri-
her?
Why would who work with? He's not black.
All you've done is sing his songs and
mean,
bring
Because
him
he's
to
a
the
good
forefront.
artist,
I'm
not because
comparing-
he's black.
All you've
Hey,
done.
I'm
Drake.
comparing
Travis,
This is.
I read stories. I've seen internet rumors. Drake eat that ass. He black.
What?
Yeah.
You all have lost your minds.
I only knocked you
Gardner, were
30
you taking
points.
points off me, by the way, while he was talking?
I took 30 points off total.
Okay.
What do you got, Trev?
Well, I have a story that is disgusting, gross, and incredibly problematic. There is a story that was released by CBS News, and I don't know how you guys can look yourselves in the mirror in the morning. Half of American adults using swimming pools in lieu of shower.
Yeah.
Now, before you go, oh, wait a minute, how do you know the racial breakdown? Oh, who are the people swimming in the pools? Well, it's actually a study that has been done over the last 2 years that show vast majority of people who can swim and who do swim are white. Now, what Gardner is showing here on your
Of
TV
happy
stream
Black children
is
swimming.
what you don't see above their heads is white people holding them down under the water.
I knew you were going to say that.
So you see the reflection? Yeah.
I think you'd see their feet.
Yeah. Look at them trying to drown black kids.
They looked like they were having fun.
Looked like they were fighting for their life. But the story suggests that when folks don't shower, they decide instead to jump into their pool, sometimes the neighborhood pool, in lieu of showering and cleaning. When dirt, sweat, personal care products, and other things on our bodies react with chlorine, there is less chlorine available to kill germs. So not only are dirty, nasty, disgusting, gross white people using the pool as their personal bath, they're spreading germs and disease in the process because they're too lazy to jump in their freaking showers. The report is based on an online survey of 3,100 American adults. It also found that 40% admit to peeing in the pool as an adult. Experts warn that urine reacts with chlorine, reducing the amount of the chemical available to kill germs. So the CDC has come out and has told your community that before you go swimming in pools, especially public pools, please take the time to shower beforehand. The fact that you are using public property to bathe and urinate has to be the most disgusting thing I've ever seen from a community. Chris, how do you defend this?
Oh, easy. Small sample size. You chose a town no bigger. There's more employees 2 blocks away at Wells Fargo than the sample size you used, pal. And you're trying to put that on all of white America. So you are trying to do, no, sir. Too small a sample size. Speaking of samples, how about some sample chemicals? pH increaser, pH decreaser, alkalinity increaser, alkalinity decreaser. Acid lowers pH while also lowering total alkalinity. Calcium hardness increaser. You don't think about all these great chemicals made by the good folks at Bayer right up the road and put into those pools that strip your body of everything healthy and non-healthy possible, so there are no germs being transferred. And the folks pictured in the photo that Gardner brought to the light can enjoy those pools. You, sir, are wrong, incorrect, bad. Even if there's half the amount of chemicals in a pool that would possibly be there, it's still cleaner than Flint, Michigan's water.
Nasty, man. See, now you definitely gonna go there, huh? You gonna go there?
Ooh, I'll take 10 points off Chris for
Wait,
that
I just said a town.
that was
I just said a town.
That was it.
mean-spirited.
Try for
Below
that.
the
But
belt,
not only
man.
that, listen to this. A quarter of those surveys said they'd go in a swimming pool within 1 hour
So 7
of
people?
having diarrhea, and 48% said they never shower before swimming.
It cleans the booty.
So you found a targeted shot at a large trailer facility in northeastern Arkansas where they did a survey, and then you tried to apply that to the entire race of whites in America. You, sir, are a disgrace. That's upsetting.
You know what? And,
and you're a big time swimmer. You love swimming.
And the thing is, we have had done stories on this show of where we will show pictures of a black pool party and black people not be in the pool. So this survey wasn't about us. You know for a fact we don't get into pools. And this is probably a reason as to why, because y'all nasty ass getting in there without washing your damn crotch and your ball sacks.
Now, Travis, I must point
You're
this
about
out
to lose,
because I was waiting for this story,
Yikes.
and I saw a Twitter thread on something in particular about this story from Jessica Huseman. And she points this out regarding your story. This survey was conducted online by a PR firm whose client is Big Chlorine.
There is
Big
no evidence
chlorine.
supporting that.
Yes,
There is
there
no
is.
evidence supporting
There
that.
absolutely
Let's see the
is.
evidence. Put the evidence on the screen. Let's see
I don't
that.
have it on the screen. I have it. You go to Twitter and look it
What's
up.
the Twitter account?
Jessica Huseman.
Jessica Huseman.
Tommy, look that up.
The
Spell the last
PR
name.
firm conducted the survey because they are being paid by this client to tell you that your eyes don't burn because of chlorine. They burn because of all the human sweat and shit in pools. Really?
Which is very likely. We saw also a similar Twitter thread last week where a lot of white Twitter respondents acknowledged to not washing the lower half of their bodies when they are in the shower. So, no, let's stop this. This is Big White trying to dispute this survey that illustrates that there are people in your community that are absolutely disgusting.
The survey was conducted. This is a fact. The survey was conducted by a PR firm working for chlorine. So that is a fact.
That does not change the facts. They didn't tell the people how to answer.
No, this is true, but this is not how Fox News works, Travis.
Yeah, and I think we've proven Travis.
What?
I think we've proven.
And I
Travis
learned from
is on
you.
the
I
take.
say it and say it with confidence. Oh yeah. But your facts, they don't line up with this here.
It doesn't matter who conducted the survey. It's the answers that matter.
It can matter because you can tailor the survey to find the results you want. That most certainly can be done.
Travis, I'm really sorry. Normally I'm with you, but this.
Tommy, shut up.
No, Tommy, what do you have to say?
The PR firm.
No, Tommy don't got nothing else to say.
I'm looking at the thread he's put out, and the PR firm, their challenge, it says, it's to improve chlorine's brand nationwide to preempt legislators and regulators from developing policy that promotes chlorine alternatives.
So we found a story that's a puff piece to say people have dirty butts.
It's not a puff.
So people buy
how's it
more
a puff
chlorine.
piece if they didn't force Americans to answer the questions? The Americans volunteered these answers, and they were honest. Why are you punishing the chlorine company for doing something responsible and alerting the public to the disgusting disease that can go on in public swimming pools just in time for the summer to let people know that before you.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. So y'all okay with people that look like you jumping into the pool that ain't showered, ain't clean nan, under armpit, ain't clean none, no butt crack, ain't clean nothing on their legs, ain't clean their hair.
You ever
you
pee in
want to
the
put
pool?
your children, your loved one. I ain't never peed in the pool. You know why? Because it's nasty, man.
First of all, I have
What
peed in
is
the
wrong
pool.
with
It
y'all?
feels great.
I'll
Secondly,
give you 10 points for not peeing in a pool.
Secondly, I don't know if you have ever. This thread made a good point. Travis, let's say you have diarrhea. All right.
Man, let's get to fair or foul.
Yeah.
Let's just say you do.
Let's end it.
Okay.
Let's end it.
I killed it.
All right. Not much change in the scores. I think actually status quo, kind of just a little fluctuation in terms of total points. 750 to 640. Both stories didn't really hit this week, but Travis has a 110-point lead when we head into next week. There you go.
Thank you, Gardner.
And that's it for the Great American Race.
Absolutely. Before we get to fair or foul, Sorry, go ahead, Trev.
No, I was going to say ghosts are real.
Yes. they
Wow.
are.
You just earned yourself a ghost surreal, Gardner. I respect that, Travis. That's in line.
Can he get 20 points for that?
Tommy, you're falling for it.
We'll do-
I'll give him 10.
We'll do some fair foul. Quick thanks to Getaway Carts, getawaycarts.com. You can customize golf carts. That's right, our golf cart sponsor. Big shout out to Joe over at Getaway Carts. Getawaycarts.com is the website. Hashtag customize without limits. If you're looking for a golf cart, you're in the St. Louis area, maybe you need a fleet for your business. Getaway Carts can help repair or new or used golf carts. That's right, golf carts for you and yours. It's getawaycarts.com for the website. Also, guys, big thanks to St. Louis Counseling Services. Check out their podcast, Mental Health Matters. Counseling services for individuals and businesses throughout the St. Louis area since 1955. Guys, we've got fair foul, and we had a poll today. Do we want to save the poll for tomorrow, Gardner? I like that when we
Yeah,
do that.
do
We'll
that.
do that. We'll save the melee for tomorrow. Want to do some fair foul, Travis? How's that go?
Fair foul. It's awesome. It's one of the most creative things I've ever came up with. It's now time for the people's fair foul.
Oh, there it was.
At this defining moment, change has come to America.
People often ask me, what's fair or foul? Is it a segment? Is it a movement? Is it hope? I can't say for certain. Time will be a true test of its power. But I can say, fair or foul is now and forever for the people. Gather around the radio with your loved ones and hold on to your butts. It's now time for fair
We give it back to you, the people.
or foul.
I want to show you guys Maze Williams, who is the lovely actress that played Arya Stark on Game of Thrones. She just tweeted out this, which, if you can see, just here for the memes.
Well, that's funny.
So
They're pretty
she
great.
seems to be taking the response to last night's finale, in stride. Then again, if you were probably making as much money as they did this final season, I would be taking it in stride as
It'll
well.
be okay.
I hate that we have to know that, because we can't truly be disappointed in it, because we go, at the end of the day, it was a stupid series and everybody's happy with the money.
No,
they
I think
made.
people can be disappointed in it. I think there are going to be people who are naturally going to be upset. There are going to be people who take it too far. And there are going to be people who are going to be apathetic towards it. But I think it's okay for you to have a problem with the finale, as long as you're not running up to Arya Stark in public and hounding her about it. But yeah, I think it's okay. If you follow the show for as long, I know, should have did that. I think it's okay, though, to follow the show for as long as you have and feel a certain way about it, as long as you just don't cross the line.
There we have it. Wise words from Travis Terrell.
I'm a wise man, Chris.
I agree. We asked you about social media accounts for pets. Fair. My pet beta fish, Francois, be on Grindr all the time. Although my man did stumble on a profile of somebody called Brooklyn's Travy Trav do the do in my socks. My Francois could not swipe left fast enough. That's from TT's. Pink eye. Are we comfortable with that? How are those flaming Cheeto Doritos? Is that what I call them?
No, you called them flaming Cheeto Dorito nacho things.
Yeah. And
Good job, Tommy.
I wrote it down.
From Steve. Fair. Becky's got to let us know how Fido's doing somehow. You just say the word
True.
Becky and Travis is like, oh, what's it going to be?
It
You
works
set
on
it
me,
up with
though,
Becky.
too, because I can
It
feel the
does.
excitement from Travis.
Yeah, the heat coming from Brooklyn. Gardner, who are you awarding the win to between the two?
I'll go Steve.
Yeah? Trav?
I'll go Steve as well.
Are you okay?
Tommy's an
Talking
idiot.
to the
Genuinely
mic.
concerned. Are you okay?
Say the name into the mic.
Steve.
Steve has won $10 to Southtown Pub. Be sure to check our comedy show out there weekly,
Oh,
everybody.
My voice is cracking.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Travis, hope you have a great day in New York. I'm sure you've got some cool writing assignments lined up.
Yes, I have class this evening, and we will be. We have a few new lecturers coming in today from a few popular kids shows. So I'm looking
Nice.
forward to speaking with a few showrunners from some popular
Is
kid
it
shows
Babar?
this afternoon. It is not Babar. It is.
Are you allowed to disclose?
David the Gnome.
I am not allowed to disclose, unfortunately. So,
Did
sorry,
you sign a
guys.
non-disclosure agreement?
I
Probably.
cannot speak on that either, as well.
That's strictly
I'm rooting
fellow
for
talk.
you. I'm rooting for you, Travis. I'm here rooting
Hey,
for you.
Tommy, thank you so
If
much.
you can
I
do it, I can
appreciate
do
that.
it. Right?
Oh boy.
I wouldn't go
That
that
was rude.
far, but okay.
No, I meant that in a
Very
good way.
backhanded, extremely backhanded. Very selfish, and you know what? Let's see more of that. Anytime you can take a dagger to Travis.
Nah, man, I'm real happy for you. I like watching this.
Well, thank you, Tommy. I enjoy having you a part of the family.
Yeah, thank you.
This is very confusing, and we'll have to get to more of this tomorrow. When we stream live at 8 a.m., did you have an announcement?
Yeah, they're shorts. They're shorts, guys.
They're
I texted
not.
him. I
They're
texted
not.
him. He said they were just oversized shorts.
He's wearing
They're
man
just oversized shorts.
They're oversized shorts.
Get your tickets before they sell out. Marvelous and Mrs. Mia this Thursday, Kransberg Arts Center Studio with Libby Higgins, Sarah Perry. Gonna be a blast. If you want to dress up like maybe a character from Miss Maisel, I'm not gonna be mad. We'll have some prizes to give out. Gonna be a hell of a time. Cocktails, drinks, a little bit of fashion and comedy. For Gardner, for Tommy, for Travis,
Get on
getting
my
his
nose,
nose
Gardner.
picked by Gardner on the video. It's Chris Stedman live from Midcoast Studio in St. Louis, Missouri. Shout out to everybody for listening today. Thank you so much for all the support. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.